Hey, and welcome to the Meditations and Musings podcast. I'm Elena Lipson. I'm a mama, I'm a wife, and I'm the founder of the Divine Self-Care Circle membership and the Virtual Retreat Academy. I don't believe that you have to sacrifice your body, your health, or your family in order to create true abundance and prosperity. I believe in living based on the divine feminine metrics of success, and these include pleasure, play, ease, grace, and a slower pace. Each week, I'll bring you 1 to 2 new episodes. One of these will be a guided meditation that you don't have to do on the meditation pillow, and the other will be a conversation to help you access your inner wisdom, to ignite abundance, and inspire others to do the same. I invite you to join me on this journey back to the magic of a divinely aligned and well cared for you. And now, join me for today's episode.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Divine Self-Care Meditations and Musings. This podcast is sponsored by my very own program because I like control and I like to sponsor my own program, which means that I get to share with you the things I really believe in. And when and if I do decide to take sponsors, they will be extremely thoughtful and products that I myself have used and adore and love and would share no matter what. So for today, I want to talk about rituals. Rituals help you to slow down and connect with your intuition, with nature, with your needs. I designed each sacred ritual as an audio ritual with your wellness, with abundance, and with your happiness in mind. When you sign up for 66 sacred rituals to activate daily magic and abundance, within 24 hours, you'll receive access to your first ritual. Then each day for 66 days, you'll get access to a new ritual to activate abundance and feel empowered to take those daily small steps, to take that inspired action towards your dream, but also really understand what it means to be the person you want to be now so that you can get there, not someday. And once you sign up, you'll have lifetime access so you can practice your favorites as many times as you like. You can download them and listen anytime, anywhere. They're yours to keep. And as a listener of the podcast, I want to gift you with a $10 off coupon. All you need to do is use the coupon code podcast. Doesn't matter if it's uppercase or lowercase. Just head on over to elenalipson.com/gift and follow the instructions there. I hope you enjoy them, and I'd love to hear how the process is for you. So today's episode is called Stop Hiding Behind Your Life. I want to share a quick story that inspired this episode and to invite you to lean in a little bit closer and listen, because I guarantee you, I have been working with women and some men, but mostly women over the last 20 years as a coach, as a guide, as a mentor, on retreats, on one-on-one coaching calls, in group coaching processes, and it never fails. There's always some external perceived block to that thing, that desire, that vision for your life that you have. In some way, you're seeing some circumstance in your life that is limiting your ability to do and be and create what you truly desire. And I want to call you out and say, well, maybe not. Maybe you are actually just hiding behind those circumstances. Now, I was told this once by a coach, and I was so pissed off at her. She's like, she said, I see so many women hiding behind their kids and not choosing to do what they want because, they're kids. And I thought, well, first of all, you don't have kids. And so I thought very, very rightfully so that I was justified in what I was saying. But if I truly paused and heard what she was saying, it's not so much that she was saying that I am literally hiding behind them, but that I was using my motherhood as an excuse to dream smaller. Now, there's a way to do this. There's a sweet spot of motherhood, of business, of doing what I'm doing, homeschooling, where you can actually create based on your desires. What I think happens is when people are limited by their external beliefs, their external circumstances, it's because somewhere along the way, they saw an example of it. They saw the things that could go wrong when you do that thing that you want to do. One of the stories that I had, excuse me, maybe we'll try to edit that out. One of the stories that I had was that you can have it all, but you can't have it all at the same time. And while that seems like a really good saying, and I've actually spoken about that at length before, I think the key is, and I believe I have some part of an episode in this, I could link to it in the show notes, is that having it all is totally possible because you get to define what all means. The problem is people think they can have it all, and then they think the circumstances in their life stop them from having it all because they haven't even asked themselves what the heck it means to have it all. If you start to define yourself by the things that you want or don't have, then you're forever going to be chasing that next thing. Whereas it's totally backwards. If you can honor yourself for where you are now and truly believe in your own ability to be that person that you want to be, then whatever stuff comes your way, whatever dream homes, dream cars, dream vacations, money, etc., are going to be cherry on the cake, but they're not going to define you because you're going to understand your inherent value. Now, I'm going to come back now. That was a little bit of a sideways tangent, but this came up for me because today is actually, as I'm recording this, is the first day of 7th grade homeschooling for our son. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that we started a homeschooling journey last year for 6th grade, totally unexpectedly, just a life pivot that we agreed to and chose. Our son was actually going to a Waldorf-based school since he was in mommy and me classes. So really from about, preschool to kindergarten, et cetera, all the way up to 5th grade. And I always said, if it stops working, then we'll try something new. And well, it stopped working, meaning that he just wasn't getting out of the school what we intended him to get, what he wanted to get. It was just not a great experience. And we fully recognized that it was really just a few key players that created this experience for him, but yet it was a very real experience. And he just did not want to go back. And it's a private school. It's a very intentional opportunity that we have invested in over the years, financially and time-wise and volunteering-wise. And, I definitely had some attachments to it, but it just wasn't working anymore. If you want to hear the full story of our homeschooling journey and how we decided to say yes to it and how I reflected on our first year of homeschooling, you can go ahead and listen to episodes 45, 46, and 47, part 1, 2, and 3 of our entrepreneurship and homeschooling journey, where I break down my pre-notions of it, my during notions of it, and my after notions of it, what my entire experience was. And so now we are into our second year. We're just starting right now. And we had a phenomenal summer. It was very laid back, very easy as a family, meaning we live in a neighborhood where there's lots of kids around. Everyone just plays. We have a lake just 3 minutes down the hill. So we spent a lot of time fishing and playing in the lake and playing with friends. We had a little travel back to California to see family. So it was just really peaceful. In my world, my planning for my business felt like it was getting more and more constricted, and here's why. So again, my son is in 7th grade in middle school, and he is definitely in a place where he's absolutely independent. He requires, a lot of certain specific types of support from us, but not in the way that he did when he was younger. My husband is very involved. They absolutely love spending time together. We all love spending time together. So I have a very involved partner, which I'm very grateful for. But my husband just got a promotion earlier this year, and that means that his schedule changed, and his schedule is now one where he works 4 days on and is off for 4 days, which is phenomenal. It's absolutely a gift. But the problem for me was, again, problem is just a story. It wasn't really a problem, but in my story mind, it was that his schedule moves. So it's not the same 4 days on and off every week. It's different. It's constantly rolling. And then my son has his homeschooling on specific days. He goes to a partnership program where he takes classes, and the other days we homeschool him and we do other, trips and things like that. So my business for the last 5 years of my online business has been very structured. I have very specific days, which I teach my clients how to do. I teach my clients how to structure their dream calendar so that they're blocking their time, the days that they work, the days that they're off, the days that you have self-care, etc. But my dates for the last several years have been very specific. I knew exactly when my meeting days were, my coaching client days, my group calls for my membership circle. and on and on. Even my self-care days were fully planned. And now looking at my husband's schedule and the homeschooling schedule, it just felt like the way I describe it to my friends is like these tectonic plates shifting and I'm just surfing on them, not really exactly knowing where I am. And so this entire summer, I've been feeling this sort of pressure building of trying to figure out what it was going to be like. So sadly, I spent quite a bit of time this summer worrying about the future, which is just like the number one thing I teach my clients not to do, to be fully present, to not worry about things that haven't happened yet, to go ahead and plan for that, to account for it, to figure out what kind of support I need. And so on the one hand, I was doing that, but on the other hand, I feel like part of me was sort of in this excuse mode, feeling like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. And oh my gosh, how is it going to work? And finally, I said it out loud to my husband. I said, I just don't know how I'm going to do all this. Like I have travel and I have speaking and I have writing and I have my podcast and I have my clients and I have my launch coming up for my next year of my Divine Self-Care Circle. And he said, no, don't hide behind that. And then he literally turned around and walked away. And I stood there and I was like, oh my gosh, he totally gets me. Like he just really understands that I was sort of complaining, but also I didn't need someone to say, poor baby, it's so sad. I really needed him to say what he said, and I didn't even know it until he said it. So he said, stop hiding, or he said, don't hide behind that. And so I realized I could literally stood there. I was just like giggling because I'm like, oh, that's perfect. That was a miracle. That's exactly what I needed to hear. Because what happened was it really shifted me back into asking myself the question, which I ask my clients, which is, what do I really, really want to do? How do I want to do it? What kind of support do I need? What is the consciousness around what I think is possible? And instead of starting to take action on it right away, I knew I needed to spend time sort of in the energy part of it, really spending time not thinking directly about the how, but really the what. What is it that I want to create? And that really shifted things for me. And the next couple of days after that particular little interaction with my husband, I started to dream about what do I want my next year to look like? What do I want this quarter to look like? What do I want to focus on? I realized I really just kind of want to write. I want to speak with this podcast and on stages, and I want to dance and I want to prepare for my launch. And once I really got that, and I just kept hearing that over and over again, I realized that all the other projects that I have on my list are going to have to either be delegated fully to someone else or to be delayed to next year, or asking myself, how can I make this fun and easy, right? Because sometimes it's not just option A or B. It's not just do it or don't do it. It's how can I do it in a way that feels so good? Now, I know so many amazing people who've supported me over the years, my graphic designer, editors, coaches, that I'm like, I bet I could just delegate some of these, or even co-partner with some people and just really understand what my energy is going to be going into fully. And then from there, feeling like what feels playful, what feels joyful, how can I celebrate what I choose to do? And then how am I going to look at my schedule? And I can actually decide, because I know how to dance, I know how to move, I know how to ride those waves, I know how to be in the moment so deeply that I trust the unfolding, that I don't need a hardcore container in some ways, but in other ways, I do feel good having a structured schedule that helps me feel grounded into my days, weeks, and months. So I figured I'm just going to kind of use this as an opportunity to experiment. I wonder what this quarter is going to teach me. I wonder what I have to learn about this schedule being so shifting. I wonder how I'm going to navigate this beautifully. I wonder what kind of support I'm going to call in to help me navigate this. And I have been looking for a VA, as someone to support me on a really sort of a consistent level. And so I'm calling that person in. I'm getting very clear on what they're going to do. And once I realized that, I thought, I'm doing a lot of things each week that I don't need to be doing. And I'm finally ready to let go of them and to teach someone else how to do those things. And that will free up my time to be playful, to be writing as much as I want to write. It might not look the same every day, but I do have some things that are very consistent. And so my son also is 13 years old now. It's not like he's a 4-year-old that needs me to constantly entertain him. And so I'm redefining the assumptions and circumstances, or my stories around those circumstances. And I'm literally just deciding to stop hiding behind my life and my circumstances. And I can just take a deep breath. And I invite you to take a deep breath right now with me and just slow down the energy, because I know that this can feel very judgmental, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to be expansive. It's meant to be redefining what's possible for you now, because having it all really doesn't mean anything. It really is just something you hear people say, a platitude on Facebook. You can have it all. You can't have it all. You can be a mom. You can't be a business owner and a mom. Like, you know what? It's all messy. It's all chaotic. If I have chosen to be a mom, if I have chosen to homeschool, I've chosen to be with my partner who has this job, I've chosen to start my business and to serve women around the world and teaching them how to do this in a graceful way, then I'm going to embody it. And I'm also going to share the mess of it too. It's okay. I mean, if you're looking for validation for stories of women who have no kids or have 10 kids and have done amazing things, you'll find them. In fact, you will find exactly what you're looking for. If you're looking for reasons to not do the thing you want to do, to write that book, to take that trip, to start that course, to host that retreat, to invite people over for dinner, you will always find a reason to not do it. The trick is to do it anyway. Like, who gives an F, right? Who gives, like, really, who cares? In fact, that was one of the mantras in one of my circles that I was hosting and coaching my ladies. Were like, you know what? F it. Just do it. And all of a sudden that became like this 3 seconds of courage that ignited action. And action is what creates clarity. When you take small daily steps towards what you want or desire, even if you're not fully clear, clarity comes. I remember really feeling this when I first started my online business, because essentially, and everything I've done really, except for when I worked in the corporate world, starting your own business, starting anything, it's like you're starting something from scratch, starting something from nothing. And that's scary as hell. And if you can just take some time to either get the support that you need or to fill your mind and heart and soul with things that inspire you, and you just take that one step of courage, that one action, you're going to start opening doors and windows and gates and all of that stuff. You know, you're going to start opening a process that you never thought was possible. So I commit to stop hiding behind my life. I commit to no longer using homeschooling or my husband's schedule or my lack of knowledge in a certain area or lack of support as an excuse to do the things I want to do. I want to write words that inspire people around the world. I want to speak my voice that activate you to do the things that you're meant to do. I want to dance. I want to create a community of women that are there to support each other and to create ripples of inspiration, joy, connection, support for each other and themselves in the world. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve in a way that lights me up. I'm here to be a clear channel of wisdom, grace, and inspiration. That's what I'm here to do. And so there are no excuses. I will be dead someday, and so will you, and I won't have to worry. In fact, what happens tomorrow or the next day or next year or 5 years from now is not my concern right in this moment. My concern right in this moment is the next best step. And if you need support on the next best step, make sure you head back to episode number 63, where I take you through a guided process meditation to help you get to the next best step. Because that's all you've got, the next best step. Everything else is improv. All right. So thank you so much for being here with me today. I truly, truly wish for you to stop hiding behind your life, your stories, your circumstances, your interpretations. That's what I'm doing. I'm here to show you how to do that. And here's what I know about you. You are fully capable. You are smart as hell. You are inspiring and inspired. You are beautiful. Your soul shines so brightly for those around you. You have a gift to share. You are here for a reason. Whether your gift is cooking divine meals for your friends and family, whether your gift is guiding children in your life, whether your gift is starting a foundation that helps people around the world, whether your gift is local politics, whether your gift is to nurture people with your wisdom of herbs and plants, whether your gift is to write poetry that makes people feel and see things differently. I know that you have a gift. I've been doing this work long enough to know. And I see you, I feel you, I honor you, and I'm grateful for you. Thank you so much for being here. I would love to hear your feedback, your reflections. Find me on Instagram at Elena_Lipson, or head on over to Facebook where you can find me as well, Elena Lipson, Divine Self-Care Mentor, or leave a review and make sure to subscribe because I've got some really fun meditations, custom guided meditations and visualizations that will help you to take these concepts and to break your possibilities wide open. Again, this is Elena Lipson, your Divine Self-Care Mentor. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to share and continue to share this journey with you. I look forward to hearing all your words, your stories, your reviews, and feedback. And hey, go do something for yourself today. And please stop hiding behind the circumstances because you have got work to do. And the world is waiting. Take care of yourself.
Thank you so much for listening and learning about the new Divine Self-Care way of being in your life, business, and the bedroom based on the divine feminine metrics of success: pleasure, play, ease, grace, and a slower pace. If you're ready to bust the myth of overwhelm and tap into an inspired start to each day, I've put together a free video series for you to help you start each day with energy, inspiration, and ignite that inner pilot light which attracts joy, magic, and synchronicity. You can access my 3-step magic morning practice to help you ignite your inner light and attract the abundance that you're craving. Head on over to elenalipson.com/gift. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would so love if you share it with a friend, a sister, a mother, a daughter, and please leave a review. That is how the magic starts to ripple out. Here's wishing you a day full of beauty, magic, and divine self-care. I'll see you next time at the Meditations and Musings podcast.